Your Excellency, there is a lot of milestones that are happening with the renewable energy. The UAE has pledged till 2030, to triple the renewable energy. What do you think are the challenges at the local level and even the global level?
Naturally, we are behind this call for triple renewable energy installed capacity per year. And while that renewables are the most competitive way to produce electricity, we are trying to understand why we are moving in the right direction, but not at the speed and scale that is needed to stay in the pathway required by the Paris Agreement goals. To apply domestically, apply regionally, apply globally. That's we have to overcome and we have to tackle. It's our narrative that we are bringing to the core. So first, physical infrastructure. We have to adapt the grid that should be interconnected, flexible and balanced, the sea route, sea trade. We have to strengthen and renew the logistic capacity. Then, second, we have to deal with the legal environment and the policy measures. It has to be promoting the coming of the new energy system. Sometimes they are still looking at the past. Third, we have to strengthen the institutional capacity to deal with the modernity and having the skilled force required for building the new energy system.
What are the legal measures that you are facing?
So,
for example,
the most common call is on the fossil fuel subsidies.
Okay.
That create a very big distortion in the market. So, and this, fossil fuel subsidies have been increasing in the last year. It was for, alleviate the cost of community for the shorting of gas and the rising price. But the fact is that still fossil fuel subsidies are increasing. You have to use that money not to promote fossil fuels or subsidize fossil fuels, but promote renewable energy.
Okay, excellent. Then, Your Excellency, my question is, the UAE has played a very huge role in terms of renewable energy and climate change. And this year we're hosting COP28. There is a lot of controversy in terms of, people are saying because UAE is a rich country, in terms of climate finance, there is no issues with climate financing. However, there is other countries that are facing issues with climate financing. And so maybe perhaps the argument is over here that we are leading in terms of renewable energy, or among the leaders in terms of renewable energy, because of, no issues with the climate financing. What's your answer to that?
Honestly, I don't see this question. I don't see this to be a question. Naturally, we have all to move in the direction of the building of the energy system. And we have to do this in rewriting the way international cooperation works. And we have to make the rich country and the developing country working together. So I welcome the efforts of the UAE to provide support for countries. They are investing in more than 70 countries of renewables today.
Yes.
Masdar with, 44 countries. So I think we have to welcome this investment approach to renewables coming from the. I think the region has been working on setting the net zero strategy.
Okay.
The UAE is working for triple renewable energy as a target for COP28, but they are already done domestically. So I think they are leading by example. So honestly, I think that everyone has to do what is in his capacity. If the UAE has the capacity to do more, they have to do more. And I think also.
But what about, the countries that pledged a lot of money for, climate change efforts? Is this money actually going to all of these projects? There is a lot of reports that are saying that the money is going elsewhere, and, it's easy to pledge, but...
There are two aspects.
Yes.
One, I think you refer to the pledge over the 100 billion that are not yet there. And we have seen that and the US pushing in the way toward COP28 to have this promise be filled before the COP28 starts. And there is also another aspect. So the way we are spending the money. And we have been focusing, as Irena, pushing the discourse on making the multilateral financial system working, on providing support for the building of the infrastructure that we need, especially in Africa, Southeast Asia, where we know a need to modernize the grid. And the multilateral financial system should be doing this not only with their own resources, but also try to leverage the financial assets around the world. More than 150 trillions are there. So you have to work for providing a way to leverage from their own policies, attracting also financial capital, private capital on this exercise.
From your experience, Your Excellency, what are the regions that have a lot of carbon emissions or that, are playing a part in terms? At a regional capacity, is it the African continent or is it the Asian continent, So,
no, these are numbers that is very clear. And naturally, the two biggest economy, they have the major contribution to the CO2 emission. But we have also other countries that they have to do something soon for decarbonize their own economy.
But are they walking the walk in terms of, ensuring that there is a lot of investment and shifting towards renewable? Largest two economies perhaps have the financial capacity, to implement and integrate their systems to cope with renewable energy, especially that, they consume a lot of fossil fuel energy. So
that's the reason we are calling for the way international cooperation work. We have all have spoken, and I think we agree completely. We are pushing for rewriting the way the international cooperation may work. We have to be effective. Rich developed country now. The question is how they can collaborate in a better way, because the climate change impact everyone.
Absolutely,
and is a dramatic problem. Is a challenge that the world has to win together.
And how can we enforce accountability?
But this is the UNFCCC that is working on that, and actually it's the UN body that is entitled. We as Irena, we will surely work for assuring that we take account on how we progress on this target is settled on the rapidity and on the speed we are performing the activities that may bring us to respect time.
And we applaud your efforts, Your Excellency, in terms of being that accelerator towards renewable energy. There is a lot of big elephants in the room in terms of, perhaps more or less, I'll keep focusing on climate financing. The economy is deteriorating, the global economy is deteriorating to a certain degree, actually. And therefore, do you think it's feasible to allocate more money, or is it essential to allocate more money for renewable, whether it is at a private sector scale or, a public sector scale or even intergovernmental scale?
We say that there are 100 trillions of financial assets flowing around the world. So the question is to put in practice, in reality, policies that may orient this money to go to this activity instead of the others. Naturally, if you still promote fossil fuel subsidies, this will be very difficult.
Absolutely.
But we think that there is still room for putting in operational activities, policies, act that may be possible for the international community to keep the 1.5 alive. And I know that the President designate is working just for that.
Excellent, excellent. Is there anything, Your Excellency, perhaps you might be able to tell us about the United Arab Emirates, the efforts they're doing, how they had foreseen the importance of renewable energy and perhaps, implemented...
I can say what I see.
Yes, absolutely.
So we have the biggest solar plant in the world.
Mm-hmm.
They have a strategy for hydrogen. They have a strategy for net zero. So I think that they are generally and truly engaged in their domestic pathway. But more important in these days is the role that they are having in chairing the COP28.
Any final words, Your Excellency, perhaps?
Hopefully to success.
Absolutely. Thank you.